Welcome to the MyGPT demonstration of report writing. Today, we are going to be generating R&D tax credit reports based on notes that have been collected. So let's get going. First, we will fill in the project name. Let's use our company name, Smarter AI in this case. We're going to generate reports from notes that have been gathered in meetings. In this case, we have gathered a couple sessions worth of questions and answers, so let me upload them. MyGPT has been trained on report writing. In this example, MyGPT has been specifically trained to write reports for R&D tax credits, but it can be trained for many different applications. To do this, MyGPT needs to know the latest regulations, which can vary by country and change a bit over time. So let's upload the latest rules and regulations so that we can use these for our report. So now we will fill out a bit more information about which reports we want it to generate. We quickly add the number of employees, the revenue, the years our notes cover, and we will finish off by adding information about the company officer, their name, their position, email, phone number, and finally their address. After that, we're simply going to hit the Generate button. While the report is generating, let me explain a few things about how MyGPT works. First, MyGPT is a private model. This means it is safe to use with confidential data, as you can host this model on your own internal servers. There is no need for it to connect to public models like ChatGPT or OpenAI. If you have information covered by NDAs or other requirements, this model is safe to use. And importantly, you'll remain GDPR compliant. MyGPT is also customized specifically for your company's needs. You own your own unique model. This means it can incorporate any additional standards or guidelines you need to use when you are creating your report. MyGPT is small enough to run on inexpensive servers. You can host these servers in-house, or you can use standard hosting companies such as AWS, Google Cloud Services, or Azure, along with many other third-party companies. It is your model and you can host it where you want. Before we open the report, let me show you the sample transcripts we used to collect information about the R&D tax credits the company wants to reclaim. It's important to note that these transcripts are short and do not encompass the depth and quality of information typically acquired during an interview session. We can enhance your model by using past examples of notes you have collected, along with the reports you created to capture more knowledge from inside your company. Once again, any model created from this private data would be strictly confidential to your company, and doing this would help to strengthen the output as it would know more about what has worked well for you in the past. The last thing I want to show you before we see the report is the government's guidelines for applying for R&D tax credits. This page contains the technical information that you can use to determine if a project is eligible for R&D tax credits. Now, we are not experts on R&D tax credits, so we downloaded this information and gave it to the model. There's an awful lot of text, and this document also updates quite frequently. It contains lots of numbered paragraphs which contain technical definitions of different R&D related terms and other R&D eligibility information. Now, I certainly don't want to read this whole website, and I'm sure you don't either. But thankfully, MyGPT already has, so we can now jump over to the report. The first thing to note is we asked for the model to produce a PDF, but it could be Word or text or any other format you prefer. We have trained the model to break the report down into sections. You can see it has done this and created a table of contents for each section. The first section contains the standard boilerplate material that we mostly just collected before running the report. The second section is where MyGPT starts working. Here it takes the information gathered by the experts and creates the content of the report. For example, you can see it identified an eligible project. The MyGPT system has filled these sections itself. It has read through the transcripts and looked at the content from the UK government's website in order to produce the report. It is important to note that there are 6 key sections you must discuss when applying for R&D tax credits in the UK, and the MyGPT system is able to fill these automatically for us. In the project section, it not only describes the project, but also refers to the relevant regulations that we loaded before the report was generated. Notice that it can intelligently quote the paragraphs from the government's website when making points about the eligibility. When talking about the current level of science or technology at the start of the project, the MyGPT system has cited paragraph 20 from the government's guidelines. This discusses the technical definition of the knowledge in a given field and explains why the nanomaterials project is classified as building upon the previous level of knowledge in that field. MyGPT incorporates general knowledge it has about an industry when writing such a report. This knowledge can be expanded during the training process if you'd like more in-depth knowledge of certain industries to be added to your own MyGPT model. The format of this report is tailored and customized for you when we build your custom MyGPT model. The length of text generated, the tone which the system uses to write responses, it can all be matched to follow your report writing standards. By using a private, customized GPT model, we can develop a tool that produces consistent results, that fits into your corporate workflow. Your IP and your customer's IP is kept safe and is under your control. This makes MyGPT the ideal tool for service companies to work with high-tech clients. So what are you waiting for? Set your data free with the power of MyGPT.